What do you do when your life is in peril? When you're quickly reaching terminal velocity? What are the last words that'll come out of your mouth if you only had seconds to live? These were mine.
Holy cow! Holy cow!
Yeah, not my proudest moment. But let's back up and figure out how I got into this predicament in the first place. Now, you might think that the situation I found myself in is not that bad, but you'd be wrong. It's a lot worse. There's multiple problems going on at the moment. First, the obvious. The ground is heading at me at a rapid rate of speed, and that speed is exponentially getting faster. Second, there's g-forces at play here, and those forces are compounded with every turn. Additionally, there's a lack of knowledge. I'm new to this sport, and that lack of knowledge is by far the most dangerous portion of this situation. So let's play this back in real speed, which was recorded from 3 different camera angles. First up is the GoPro mounted to the top of my helmet.
Okay, let's try it. First, really easy.
Next, let's take a look at the view from the chase cam. And finally, from the camera mounted to the side of my helmet.
Okay, let's try it. First, really easy, and then to the other side. Whoa, that is a lot more. Holy cow! Holy cow!
In my mind, at that moment, there was absolutely nothing safe about what I was doing. But obviously, I'm here making this video, so I was able to do something within the last couple seconds that kept me from hitting the ground. And what I did, well, that story starts a couple days prior. If you remember from my last video, I had been practicing learning wingovers, but I was doing it on a B-rated wing, a lofty and safe wing that doesn't allow for a lot of maneuverability. Now, it just so happens that I had a wing that was specifically made for people learning acrobatic maneuvers. It was an older wing that I had originally purchased only for kiting. When I purchased it, my instructor told me that I should probably have about 200 hours in an A or B rated wing before trying to fly it. I had just over 30. Close enough. Paramotor and paraglider wings are given ratings by an organization known as the CEN, or the European Committee for Standardization. The testing of these wings are done by companies certified by the CEN. The primary companies that are doing the testings are Air Turquoise SA of Switzerland, DHV of Germany, and FFVL of France, which is formerly known as Aerotest. The 2 primary ratings are the EN 926-1, which tests for resistance and load bearing, and more importantly, the EN 926-2, which tests for safety, handling, and flight characteristics. The ratings are basically grade levels like you got in primary school: A, B, C, D, and F. A being the highest rating or the safest of these wings. These are typically beginner wings. The B rating is a little less passive safety than the A rating. The C rating is more for advanced, and the D rating being exceptionally advanced. Now, if a wing did not pass the rating, it is considered an unrated wing. Now, there are many unrated wings on the market, and the general rule of thumb is that the pilot is advanced enough to handle the wing and they are doing so at their own risk. The rainbow colored wing I was flying at the beginning of this video, that is an unrated wing. And I still consider myself a beginner, and that was one of the primary reasons I ended up in the situation that I did. When I bought my first wing I would fly with, an A-rated wing, I bought it from my instructor's instructor, a man named Chris Santacroce, who met me down in Florida with the wing, and he was giving a kiting clinic at the time. Now, I didn't know who this man was, but based upon the crowds that followed him, I decided to find out. That night, he took a small group of us out to dinner, and I found out who he really was, and that this was a man I really needed to take advice from. Fast forward a couple months, and when I wanted to start learning about wingovers, I made sure to do research first. And I happened to come across some videos that were about the pitfalls of wingovers, and sure enough, they were made by Chris Santacroce. In these videos, he explains the pitfalls of the wingover as well as getting into a spiral and how to get out of a spiral. I made sure that I made mental impressions and put to memory exactly what he was saying about getting out of a spiral. Now let's go back to the footage where I was stuck in the spiral. As soon as I was caught in the spiral, I just kept remembering Chris's words and what he said to get out of the spiral. And you could see the exact moment when I remember those words and I pull brake on the trailing edge. Here's the entire video, full speed, stitched together.
Okay, let's try it. First, really easy, and then to the other side. Whoa, that is a lot more. Holy cow! Holy cow! Holy cow! Oh my God! Surge, surge, surge. Catch the surge. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! That was, holy crap! Oh my
After I caught the surge, I was out of danger. I was in the clear. And so I could enjoy the adrenaline going through my veins and safely bring the paramotor to the ground. Once I got to the ground, I took the footage home and I went through this footage frame by frame over and over and over to figure out what I did wrong. And I found out that I only did 2 things wrong, and here is my synopsis.
All right, so one thing I learned about this wing, I need an SIV course before I do that. I got stuck in a spin there, and I was trying to bump out of it, but I eventually just hammered on the right brake as far as I could, and I got it. But yeah, that was a bit scary.
An SIV course is a course where you learn advanced maneuvers from an instructor in a very specific environment. And I had originally signed up for an SIV course, but with the insanity of COVID shutting everything down, unfortunately I had to wait a few months before I could get in. And my impatience got to me, and my desire to learn, instead of getting proper instruction and waiting, that was the first and biggest flaw. Now, my second mistake was done right here on the ground. I made the conscious choice to strap into a wing that I wasn't ready for. I should have never taken off on this wing knowing that I didn't have the skills to be able to handle what it had to offer. Now, I truly think that God has his hand on my life, and he chooses when to give and take the breath away from me. That being said, I still have the responsibility to protect the life that I was given, and I was too callous in my lust for learning to really acknowledge what I was doing. Regardless of what you believe, God does not break his own laws, and physics is physics, and gravity has yet to fail. I should have never strapped into the wing in the first place. In the beginning of this video, I had asked about the last words that people would ever hear you say. But in truth, those words don't matter. It's what you do each and every day that people will remember. You see, actions are louder than words, and the way you live your life and what you do every day, well, those are the true words worth remembering. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're able to learn something from my mistakes. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and click the subscribe and like button down below.